Can you do a Thanos impression?
I need to bring balance to my stones.
That sounds nothing like him. That's like,
Well, do your Thanos impression.
It's like, destiny still is coming for you. Is it pronounced Thanos? I'm pretty sure they say it like 5 different ways throughout the movie.
I think it's just Thanos.
Thanos. Thanos. Yeah.
Welcome to Fresh Happening.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Adam.
Yeah, that's who he is.
My t-shirt's all crumpled. I'm like a fat Iron Man.
Yeah, a bit plump there, aren't you? This past week we went to go watch Avengers Infinity War. Of course, it came out last Thursday here in the UK. Which Marvel films have you seen again?
I've only seen Iron Man 1, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Thor was on in the background at somebody's house I went to, so I probably caught about 7 minutes of it. So not a lot, really. I had no idea what was going on.
So you've seen 3 Marvel movies?
All the way through, yeah.
Wow, okay. I mean, obviously anyone who's watched these movies know, like, this will be the 19th movie. It's been this huge arcing story over 10. It's been 10 years since Iron Man 1 came out. So it's some epic cinematic storytelling that I don't think anyone has ever achieved before. Well, what did you think prior to this point had gone on in the storyline?
There's a lot of Thanos in the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, because obviously Gamora's his adopted daughter that we find a lot more about in this film. So I kind of gathered that he was going to be the big bad. I had no idea what he was really after. I just know that everyone was scared of him.
So you kind of went into this a bit not really knowing a lot, whereas I was like all aboard the hype train. You know, I've seen every single one on the week of release since Iron Man 1, and I was just jacked up. So we kind of went into it with different perspectives, didn't we?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to share our reactions and how we felt about the movie. I think we're going to kind of split it into 2 halves. We're going to do a non-spoiler thoughts and feelings on the film first of all, for anyone who doesn't want it spoiled for them, and then we'll go into a full-blown spoiler chat. So anyone who doesn't want any spoilers, just turn off after the spoiler.
Yeah, we'll give you plenty of warning. Did you like the film? That's not spoiler.
I loved the film.
Being the fan, was it what you wanted?
Yeah, I mean, I was obviously so psyched going in, and then coming out of it, it was a roller coaster of emotion and awe. Like, you were laughing, there was like genuine spectacle there, there was genuine bits where I was tearing up. It was just all the way through, and you know what, there was, I guess my negative gripes of it was, there is some stuff that's a bit illogical in it. Because it was such a roller coaster and the character work was so well done, it just skates straight over that. You don't really have time to go, hold on a minute, that didn't really make sense.
Do that?
Yeah. Let's talk about the characters themselves and the actors. And I mean, this is a huge ensemble. How many, like 40 heroes and villains all in this film?
Yeah, but everyone's seen, there's nobody that just turns up and then disappears, or somebody just turns up for a fight. There's at least some clips on what they're going to do and what they've kind of been doing. There's
some characters in particular that it tends to focus more on. Like Thor has a major arc in this one, obviously Tony Stark.
The movie is a Thanos movie.
It is, yeah. He is literally, he is the main character of this.
You could almost call this Thanos.
For a computer-generated character, obviously brought to life in mocap and voiced by Josh Brolin, it was terrific, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a very good character. His storyline, without going into the spoilery section, this character, normally a villain is, I'm really bad, I'm doing this because I want to destroy this. He's not. He actually gives reasons for why he's doing it. So you can, yes, it's a really horrible reason why he's doing it, but he's doing it in his mind for good, and it's not just the good of, I want to see all this burn. Yeah. It's the good of, no, this will help people, and I have to do this horrible thing to help people.
Yeah, in his mind, he's saving people, right? So it's a different vibe, and I think Marvel villains traditionally have got a bit of criticism for being a bit copy and paste, whereas this one, it was just like such a rounded character. You see a bit of his backstory there. His relationship is explored with other characters as well, quite in depth, particularly with Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy. I did not expect her to have such a decent character arc in this. Such a fleshed out character arc.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, I did enjoy it. I actually went in, had a great time. Especially with a film that long, you need to bear in mind this film is, what, 2.5-ish hours long?
Yeah.
That normally is way too long for me to sit still. But I at no point went, I've still got an hour and a half to go. I was thoroughly invested throughout the whole thing.
For me, it was awesome seeing this movie franchise culminate in such a dramatic, funny, heartbreaking 2.5 hours of spectacle. It was amazing to watch. So I really enjoyed my time with it, and you did too.
I did as well. Fun flick.
To cap off our non-spoiler review, if you're looking for some time to kill,
get on Infinity Wars. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
So yeah, now we're going to do the spoiler section of the video. So we are not holding back. So if you do not want to know anything about Avengers Infinity War, stop the video now.
It starts, I think it's the first few scenes. It's the only bit I struggled to grip what was going on. I think it backs on to another movie.
Yeah, so literally, as Thor Ragnarok ends, Infinity War begins. Stuff has already hit the fan.
Because that was when I initially started worrying, like, oh my god, I'm not going to have a clue what is
What is
happening
going
here.
on, yeah.
How did he get hurt?
Like, Thor and Loki have just been completely owned by Thanos and the Black Order. They were quite cool to see when the Black Order, they were first
I love the Black
introduced
Order.
them.
I love the, I think somebody called him Squidward at some part.
Squidward,
But,
yeah. His name was Ebony Moore.
Very cool character. I think he's probably my favourite of the Black Order.
Loki bit the dust very early on, didn't he?
Is he gone?
I think so, yeah. I think that death seemed definitive because he strangled Loki to death in a brutal way, and it kind of set the tone for the way the movie was going to go.
Yeah.
I quite liked that Loki kind of redeemed himself by attempting to kill Thanos, and he had a bit of a heroic moment to go out on. I love the throwback to the first Avengers movie. Loki says to Tony Stark, "I have an army," and then Tony Stark says to Loki, "We have a Hulk." And then Loki said in this one to Thanos, we have a Hulk, which was really, really cool.
Which is the first time, and I think the only time we see Hulk in this movie.
You see him briefly again later on. Bruce Banner is struggling with the Hulk in this movie, which was quite an interesting dynamic. They changed the Hulk and Bruce up again. This time, Bruce is trying to get the Hulk to come out, but he won't.
Yeah.
After suffering a defeat at Thanos at the start of the movie. So I think you only really see him at the start of that scene, don't you?
I think that's the only real Hulk out moment you see in this film.
Yeah, that was a cool way to start, wasn't it? You know, got a fight between Thanos and Thor and Hulk and Loki obviously bites the dust. And, Idris Elba bit the dust as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
Heimdall.
Luther.
Yeah. The main backdrop for this movie is Thanos wants to balance the universe by wiping out half of the population, doesn't he? He wants to wipe out half the population of the universe. To do that, he needs the Infinity Stones, which we've seen pop up throughout the other Marvel movies. And if he gets all 6 of them, he can do that with the click of his finger, can't he?
Yeah, really simple premise.
What was it like for you seeing these characters like just sporadically? Was it good to see these characters again?
You don't really have time to get bored of anyone. Doctor Strange, I love him. He's amazing. I've only seen about 20 minutes of him on screen because I've not seen the Doctor Strange.
Is he your favourite?
Yeah, I like this whole boom boom block stuff with magic shields and
I knew you'd
make
pick
portals and stuff and turn stuff to doves.
And how great was the dynamic between Doctor Strange and Tony Stark?
Yeah, the dynamic between all the characters are really good. We could list them off. Guardians of the Galaxy meet Thor. Fantastic.
Wow, yeah, like the way like Peter, Quill, Star-Lord and Thor interact with each other. There's that scene where he's trying to do Thor's voice, isn't it? Yeah. That was just brilliant. And he's getting jealous as well of Gamora.
Thor and Rocket have a great team and they go off and do their stuff. Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Iron Man.
Yeah, that whole dynamic is
They're
perfect.
really cool dynamic.
That scene where they're on the spaceship with Tony and Spider-Man and the cape. And just the comedy, like the comic timing of
the whole cast.
Yeah, the whole cast is brilliant, but particularly I think Tom Holland as Spider-Man. Dave Bautista had everyone in stitches. There's a scene with Gamora and Star-Lord where they finally they get together, don't they, after all these years, and then they just hear the crunch, and it's just such an old joke, isn't it? When Drax, the Destroyer played by Bautista, stood there and he's just eating the crisps.
How long have you been there?
The Zags or whatever he called them. And he's like, how long have you been there? He's just like 30 minutes or something, like half an hour. I think that was the heart of this movie, wasn't it? We're seeing all these characters we've seen over 10 years just interacting with each other, and it was all so beautifully played and written and everything. That is the strongest bit about it.
Is Peter Dinklage the first person to play 2 characters in the Marvel Universe?
Oh wow, well no he didn't. He's the X-Men universe is not the Marvel universe.
Right, he's an X-Men thing.
But his role, how surprising was that?
Was he not advertised?
I knew he was in the movie, but I'd forgotten by the time I came to watch it. And Peter Dinklage shows up and he's Peter Dinklage, but he's 20 foot tall and bigger than all the characters, and it's absolutely hilarious. What's great about it is they just divide the group really well, don't they? They keep both story arcs going at the same time.
Which they did really well. There's a few films where they drop the bat with that and it's too much, you can't take it in.
Yeah,
they try and stylize the edit, a punch going in from one and somebody else actually hits it. I'm glad they stayed away from that.
The heart of the story is Thanos' quest to get the Infinity Stones for himself. It's a great scene, I think, when they arrive in nowhere and Peter Quill has promised Gamora he will kill her if, Thanos gets a hold of her. He does go to kill her, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But Thanos, obviously, with his reality-altering powers, stops that from happening. Gamora and Thanos have a lot of screen time together. You really get into the meat of their relationship, don't you? And the father and daughter side of things. And he just throws her off a cliff, and it's very like, whoa, okay, that just happened.
Yeah, Gamora's just dead.
Yeah, did not expect her to go at all. I got genuine goosebumps when Thor returned to Earth in Wakanda, because he'd been gone for so long.
Even in the cinema, there was a little when he turned up, which I love when you go to a cinema and you hear people properly getting into it.
And he's flanked by Rocket and Groot, and he's got the new axe and everything like that. And I think because he'd been separated from those characters for so long, it was just a genuine feel-good moment when he showed up. And one of my favourite bits of the movie was between Tony Stark and Thanos. When Thanos approaches him, just says Stark, and he's like, "You know my name?" It's like, yeah, like both of us have the curse of knowledge. And Tony gives that look, which we've seen in a few other movies, which you wouldn't have seen, but there's such weight to that character, him being through these things for the past 10 years. And in the first Avengers movie, when he's struggling with, seeing aliens for the first time and how unprotected the world is, that's everything he bears on his shoulders. And when Thanos says to him, "Oh, we're cursed with knowledge, me and you," Tony just gives that look of it's the same look he gave when he thinks about everything that's happened, and you feel that weight again, and he looks back at Thanos and he says, "My only curse is you." And it was just like, wow, there is weight to that line.
There was a lot.
I really loved that.
When you come and watch a spoiler review of the Avengers, most people want to know what your thoughts are on this bit and where we're going next, which I don't keep tracks of what films Marvel plan to do in the future, but you do, so you might have a better idea on kind of predicting where we're going next. We've got to the click now, and we can start talking about people disappearing. Spider-Man and Iron Man. God. If you're talking about the only emotional bit where I was like, that's
where I teared up. Again, the weight of it all was still on Tony, and that scene with Peter kind of exemplifies it all. Because Peter is just like, no, I don't want to die, and he is dying, and it's tragic, and Tony Stark doesn't really know what to do, and then you see it after as well, isn't it? It's genuinely an emotional moment there.
And Rocket saying bye to Groot again.
Again, yeah.
I thought that was possibly more emotional, just 2 CGI characters, more emotional than the Spider-Man bit.
Yeah, it was unreal to see all of them kind of just phase out, and big characters, Star-Lord, Black Panther,
and the cleverest shot in it was, I don't know what the lady's name is, but it's Black Panther's, looks like head of the guard sort of thing.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It's a really clever shot that they go to grab each other's hand, and all the other shots have been in a way that it looks like the person going to grab the hand stays and the one they're trying to grab disappears. But in this shot, it's the opposite way around, so you assume Black Panther is going to stay and see the head of his guard disappear. Yeah. But no, it's the other way around. It's just a really clever shot, and they kept you guessing who was going to vanish.
That's the note that the movie ends on. It ends on with half of existence being wiped out, and all these characters just die.
As the Marvel buff, I've got no idea what's coming next. How do they resolve this?
I don't know, because this has been very faithful to 2 comic books. The first being Infinity Gauntlet from the early 90s, and the second being a book from 2013 called Infinity. I don't know if they're going to do their own thing, or if they're going to go somewhere else. What's great about it is that it's completely unknown. We have no idea what's going on this next movie. It's a year out from now, and they haven't given it a name. There's no synopsis. We just don't know what's going to go on. There's so many possibilities, but it's exciting not knowing, you know? Yeah. Wrapping up, who was your favourite character in this?
My favourite character in it, it's tight. Doctor Strange, I think, but I think I just like that concept. I love wizards. That's really cool. The whole magic, wizardy powers was good.
I really liked Thor. He felt like a main character in this one.
Oh, yeah.
This was very much a Thor story in some aspects.
Yeah.
Overall thoughts of the movie?
Bring on Captain Marvel.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Okay, if you've liked this video and you want to see more movie reactions and reactions to all the things that we love and love to cover here, like, share and subscribe to our lovely channel here. And we'll see you tomorrow for some more fresh happening.